Aruba announces its new Minister of Finance. Plus, in today's lifestyle segment, even if you run for just 5 minutes a day, it will prolong your life by 3 years. And American tourists reach out to their local TV stations to help them investigate on why airlines are asking them for visa prior to departing to Aruba. 15 on 15 starts right now. Thank you for joining us. I'm Yentl Lieuw. The new Minister of Finance has officially been announced. On Monday late afternoon, Yentl Bermudez was presented by the Prime Minister as the new Minister of Finance. Yentl Bermudez has an impressive resume regarding finances. He was the director of the Department for Finance for all three islands, Bonaire, Santo Eustáquio, and Saba. On the island, on Aruba, he was the advisor to the former Minister of Finance, Juan David Iroskin. In other local news, the case of Hugo Carvajal brought attention to the island's judicial system worldwide. The Minister of Justice, Arthur Dowers, gives us an overview as to how the situation was handled from the island's perspective. Here is everything you need to know from start to finish of the Carvajal's case. The Minister of Justice acknowledges the added pressure Venezuela put on Aruba by interfering with private as well commercial flights.
Well, I can inform you that it's not let's put it this way, it's a public secret that there was pressure initially when Mr. Carvajal was detained, and as you have seen through the weekend, that there has been also some intervention as part of the Venezuelan government in closing the airspace, which I do consider pressure. But I can assure you that the pressure of the Venezuelan government was not the reason for us to take any decision the way it was taken.
Minister Dowers assures Venezuela's actions did not impact the verdict on Carvajal's case. Despite the added pressure, Aruban officials maintain a respectful relationship with Venezuela. Minister Dowers explains what initially took place and what happened on Sunday.
The information we had, and that was confirmed also through Foreign Affairs, is that Mr. Carvajal was not admitted as a consul in Aruba and was also not working as a consul in Aruba. In that case, that means that he had no immunity on the island. Sunday, there was information that came through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs that said something different, and that information was also sent to the Venezuelan government. And based on that fact, the prosecutor's office, and in this case Attorney General, decided that he would not maintain Mr. Carvajal detained, because if they would present a case in court, there was a possibility that this case will be thrown out by the judge.
According to the Minister of Justice, the judge in Aruba ruled the detention in accordance to treaty and local law. The island was following proper legal proceedings. Peter Blanken, the prosecutor on the case, explains to international press the process of the abrupt change that took place on Sunday to release Mr. Carvajal.
Well, let me first make clear that Aruba is part of the Kingdom of the Netherlands. And the Netherlands, the European part of the Netherlands, is responsible for defense and for the foreign affairs. So that is not a responsibility of Aruba. What changed is that the Minister of Foreign Affairs in Holland did send a letter to Aruba, to the Minister of Justice in Aruba on Sunday morning, and changed the point of view concerning the diplomatic immunity of Mr. Carvajal.
The only helpful fact Aruba's prosecutor's office can reveal regarding the release of Mr. Carvajal is that on Sunday, the Minister of Justice received a letter from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Holland saying Mr. Carvajal has diplomatic immunity after all.
The point is that Mr. Carvajal was nominated as a Consul General for Aruba in February of this year, and that procedure did not end by a letter of refusal.
Prosecutor Peter Blanken says they themselves were surprised by the drastic change of the diplomatic status. Prosecutor Blanken spoke with American officials himself, and he says they understand the island had to carry out orders requested by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. He also says the U.S. knows Aruba is a reliable partner. However, he cannot speak on behalf of the Netherlands and USA's relationship. And on that note, we will be right back. Take a look to see what is coming up next. Welcome back from the break. Here's some news for the runners and joggers out there. You can expect to live 3 years longer than your counterparts who don't run at all, even if it is just 5 minutes that you move those legs every day. Long-distance running is something most people dread, but experts are saying less could be more. When it comes to getting a healthy heart when running, a 15-year study just revealed that at least 5 minutes of running a day could just do the job. 5 minutes a day, even at slow speed, may reduce a person's risk of heart disease compared to someone who does not run. The study finds that runners on average will live 3 years longer compared to non-runners. This is interesting. The health benefits for runners were the same no matter how long, far, frequently, or fast participants reported running. Benefits were also the same regardless of sex, age, BMI, health conditions, smoking status, or alcohol use. So, a 5-minute run at a slow speed every day can still keep you healthy longer. And for all the ladies out there, if you ever need a sign of whether a guy is into you or not, you may just want to listen to his voice very carefully. According to a new published study, guys vary their vocal pitch, shifting between both high and low tones of voice when talking to a woman they find attractive. During the study, when a guy was talking to a woman he found attractive, he naturally varied his tone from deeper to higher pitches in a subtle, sing-song kind of way. Researchers say because men do this, varying their pitch, so guys can signal that they are both masculine and sensitive to potential mates. Their tone conveys manliness, but also the softness associated with being a good partner and supporter. The study found this actually works, so boys, keep it up. Women were more attracted to the men speaking in that varied tone. Here's yet another way the human race has found to love themselves. The brand Hellmann's has made a way for you to love mayonnaise even more. Who can say no to a burger with their own selfie drawn on it? Hellmann's has created a robotic 3D printer arm that squirts out mayonnaise in the shape of a selfie. Put your mayo on your favorite burger and dig in. This video shows a quote-unquote scientist snapping a portrait and sending the photo data through the 3D printer. A burger patty then acts as a canvas to the mayo paintbrush, which draws a cartoony version of your selfie. People seem to love getting a burger with their own face on it. What a fantastic marketing tool. Let's take a break. Stay with us. Aruba's adjusted law for visitors who want to stay longer than 30 days is getting international news media outlets' attention. A local television station in Rhode Island covered a story regarding travelers' confusion when heading to Aruba for a longer duration of stay. Take a look at this.
Time now for Eyewitness News Call 12 for action. For those of you who own timeshare in Aruba, heads up.
If you're planning on staying for an extended vacation, you may need more documentation than you've previously traveled with. Problem solver Susan Hogan joins us now with the details.
Well, it happened to a West Warwick woman. She's been traveling to Aruba for more than 20 years with only a passport. But a few months ago, she was refused boarding on U.S. Airways because she did not have a visa, which she claims she never needed until now.
You need a visa, you need a visa.
Eleanor Rubinsky was all ready to go on vacation, a long one, to her timeshare in Aruba. But when she got to the U.S. Airways ticket counter, her vacation ended even before it began.
I paid my luggage, and I'm all checked in. The kids left. And she said, where's your visa? I said, what visa? I don't need a visa.
Eleanor had no choice but to go back home.
No, they wouldn't let me go. She would not let me leave.
For 22 years, Eleanor says she's only traveled with just her passport, and this was the first time she was told she needed a visa to Aruba because she was staying more than 30 days. But Eleanor says she stayed longer before, and a visa was never a requirement. That's when she called 12 for action.
Because I got totally frustrated and said, nobody's helping me, so I called Susan. And she's going to help me. She's going to get it straightened out.
Call 12 for Action contacted the Aruba Tourism Authority, and they tell us that they're aware of this situation with what they call the airline's interpretation of Aruba's requirements for entry. They say they are working on this right now, but one thing is for sure, there is no visa required. But U.S. Airways tells us it is required to adhere to Timatic, which is the industry standard used by airlines for international travel. And it says a visa is required to enter Aruba if staying over 30 days.
As far as they're concerned, but I can stay 180 days as far as Aruba.
Now, the director of tourism for Aruba is currently working on correcting this policy confusion with the airlines. He tells us the policy was amended a few months ago, but getting the changes made to that Timatic system we told you about isn't moving as fast as they would like. For now, a visa, though, is required for extended stay.
The hiccup in the system regarding documentation for extended amount of stays is clearly impacting the island's tourism and loyal travelers' overall experience to Aruba. As you saw in the news clip, the director of ATA was contacted. Therefore, tourism officials are aware of this detrimental inconvenience. Hopefully, this will be clarified and solved as soon as possible. That is it for us today. Join us again tomorrow night starting at 7:15 p.m. right here on Channel 15 ATV. We'll be here with all the latest. We'll see you.